All right, let's dive into the super high stakes world of air defense. We're talking about a potential game changer for India, a weapon system so advanced it's literally designed to hunt ghosts in the sky. I mean, seriously, think about that for a second. How do you actually shoot down an aircraft that is built from the ground up to be invisible to your defenses? It's a massive technological puzzle, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. So to really get a handle on where India might be going, we first have to look at what they have right now. Because this isn't about replacing what they've got, it's about adding a powerful new layer to an already pretty serious shield. Okay, so the backbone of India's current air defense is the Russian S-400 Triumph. And let me be clear, this system is no slouch. It's widely considered one of the most capable and flexible air defense systems on the planet. And this isn't just stuff on a brochure. India has 5 of these S-400 batteries, and the system is known for being incredibly effective. We're talking about something that can track and engage dozens of targets at once, everything from fighter jets to big surveillance planes. It is, by any measure, a top-tier shield. But, even the strongest shield can be tested by new kinds of weapons. Right, because even with a shield as powerful as the S-400, there's a new kind of threat emerging. A threat that's specifically designed to slip right through the cracks of even the very best defenses out there. We're talking about stealth aircraft. And these aren't just planes with some fancy paint on them. No. They are engineered from their very core to be practically invisible to radar. They are true aerial phantoms. And this represents a huge leap in air combat technology. And for India, this isn't some far-off hypothetical problem. China is already flying its J-20 Mighty Dragon stealth fighter, and there's talk of Pakistan acquiring the J-35A. Both of these jets are built with what's called a very low radar cross-section, or RCS. Basically, their weird shapes are designed to scatter radar waves away, making them incredibly hard for a conventional system to see, let alone get a lock on. So, how do you hunt a ghost? Well, Russia's proposed answer is a system designed specifically for this job. Let me introduce you to the S-500, codenamed Prometheus. Now, this is absolutely key. The S-500 is not meant to replace the S-400. It's a specialized tool. Think of it this way. If the S-400 is your all-star defensive line, the S-500 is your long-range sniper, built for very specific, very tough, high-value targets. When they work together, you get this incredibly deep, multi-layered defense network. And this table just lays it out perfectly. Look at that primary targets row. See, the S-400 is the versatile workhorse. It handles your standard aircraft and cruise missiles. But the S-500, that's the specialist. It's built to take on the really nasty stuff: ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons, and of course, stealth aircraft. And just look at that jump in range and altitude. It's playing in a whole different ballpark. Let's just park on that number for a second. 600 kilometers. That is a gigantic defensive bubble. We're talking about the ability to shoot down a threat that was launched from one city while your system is sitting in another city hundreds of kilometers away. It pushes your defensive line way, way out. And a huge part of that capability comes from being an exo-atmospheric interceptor. What that really means is its missiles can fly up into the vacuum of space to kill an incoming ballistic missile before it even starts to fall back to Earth. You're literally taking the fight outside of the planet's atmosphere. Okay, so it's powerful, it's got insane range. But that still brings us back to our original question. How in the world does it see an invisible plane? What is the secret sauce here? How do you hunt a ghost? Well, the answer isn't one magic radar. It's a whole network of different radars all working together, creating what's been described as a multi-band radar tapestry. It's like it's weaving together different radar frequencies, and each one has its own special strength to build a picture that no single radar could ever hope to see by itself. So let's just walk through this kill chain, because it's actually pretty cool. First, you've got this long-wave VHF radar that acts like a giant floodlight. It scans a huge area and can spot the faint blip of a stealth plane that other radars would miss. Then you get the critical handoff. The system tells its other, more precise radars, hey, look over there. And finally, a narrow-beam, high-frequency X-band radar acts like a laser pointer, locking on with insane accuracy for the kill. When it works, it's like a perfectly choreographed technological symphony. But, and this is a really big but, as cool as that symphony sounds, spotting the target is one thing. Actually hitting it is a whole other level of difficult. And this is where the real challenge comes in. There's a great quote that just nails the stakes here. Detection lights the fuse, higher bands pull the trigger. Get that wrong, and your hypersonic hunter becomes a high-altitude dud. That handoff between the different radars, that has to be absolutely flawless. One tiny mistake and poof, the invisible target just slips away. So here's the core problem. That big floodlight radar, it gives you a really fuzzy, imprecise picture. It tells you, yes, something is out there, but it doesn't tell you its exact location. The system software and the people running it have to translate that vague blob into a perfect target for the laser pointer radar, and they have to do it in seconds. It is a massive data fusion headache. And you can probably guess mastering this kind of tech comes with a price tag that is, well, it's just staggering. The estimated cost for India to get just 2 squadrons is around 20,000 crore rupees. This is not just buying a piece of equipment. It is a monumental strategic and financial decision that would shape a defense budget for years. So let's pull all this together. What are the big takeaways? First, modern air defense is all about creating layers, combining different systems, not just finding one magic bullet. Second, beating stealth isn't about one gadget. It's about that perfect technological dance between all your sensors. Third, this kind of power comes at an absolutely enormous cost. And finally, you can never forget the politics. A big purchase like this from Russia comes with very real risks, like the threat of US sanctions. Which kind of leaves us with one last really interesting question to think about. In an age where offensive tech like stealth is becoming more common, does the ultimate shield, a system that can reliably beat it, actually become the new ultimate weapon? It's a fascinating thought. Thanks so much for joining this explainer.